This is Matrix Lord 212, and as you can see, I still got the Christmas tree up. So busy I can't even take it down, but this video is basically going to be about Spider-Man's villains, okay? Who is your favorite Spider-Man villain? As we know now, Dr. Octopus has taken over Peter Parker's body and is the superior Spider-Man. But let's take a look at all the other villains and see, if we like them or not. I think that one of the greatest storylines with the Vulture was basically, I don't know if it was taken for Doc Ock's story, but the Vulture was dying at one point in time. And he did what Doc Ock did in a way. I mean, he didn't swap bodies, but he stole Peter Parker's youth. And he, in the Life Death storyline, Amazing Spider-Man 386, 387, 388, and in that he basically stole Peter Parker's youth, and when he was younger, he was more of a threat, I thought, to Peter Parker. I mean, when he absorbed the synthesoids, the robots of Richard and Mary Parker, he stood young for a while, and he basically created this virus that Peter Parker was going to die. And the only person that could save him was Doc Ock. So, I think I like the young Vulture, Adrian Toomes. I think definitely. Okay, then we got Electro. Now, like I said, I think it was a storyline Light the Night where Electro he didn't seem like a second string character. He seemed like a really, really tough villain. Like, I really like that storyline a lot. And you know what too? Like, I really miss the classic Electro costume. I don't like, when John Byrne made it like all blue, and it was like, oh, he just looks like any other villain. He didn't look special. He didn't look different. So I do want to see a return to the classic costume, but I know they're not going to use that for Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm not really crazy about, the direction they're going in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we're going to have to wait and see. But I tell you right now, they better not kill Gwen Stacy at the hands of Electro, because then I will barf in my mouth. Alright, so anyway, we got, J. Jonah Jameson. Even though he's not a supervillain, he has caused so many problems for Peter Parker, for Spider-Man over the years, and he engineered the whole creation of the Scorpion, Mac Gargan, where he was trapped in with the Scorpion suit. We have, and I liked the Scorpion when they made it where, I think at one point in time he had a ray too with the Scorpion tail. I think it was shooting stuff. I'm trying to remember, but they did so many cool things with the Scorpion over the years. Then we got the Shocker, which, I never really thought they had the ultimate Shocker storyline. I never really thought that he was really used into a big scale villain. We also had the Kingpin, which was used for Daredevil, and we had the Kingpin's son, which I'm not sure if he was the character called the Rose. I did like it when they had those gang battles and stuff like that, and they threw the Hobgoblin in the middle, and they had all these other villains in the mix. I liked when they did stuff like that. I liked it when the Hobgoblin was, all kinds of weapons and weapons van, just like the Punisher. But then I also liked Todd McFarlane's interpretation of it when it was because of the mixture with the Inferno storyline from X-Men, where I think a demon possessed Jason Macendale or something like that, and he became like this. It was before before he was called Demogoblin. They called him that later on, but he looked really cool, drawn by Tom McFarlane. And the Lizard. I like when Tom McFarlane made the Lizard like that. He was really, really awesome looking. There's been so many other villains. Morbius the Living Vampire. He was pretty cool. They had stuff with him lately. We have the Rhino. He was cool. Hydro Man, Sandman. Peter Parker's always making fun of the Trapster, what do you call him, Paste Pot Pete. He always thought he was a dumb idiot, and there was that one time he almost got beat by him. Uh, and we got Norman Osborn, which was the Green Goblin, which I always felt, because he killed Gwen Stacy, he is on the top of the list, the highest villain. And then we got Kraven the Hunter, which he killed some people lately. He came back from the dead, and he took some people out. So we had the Grim Hunter, which was one of the sons of Kraven the Hunter. I think he has two. And then also Kraven the Hunter had a daughter. We had that. And then technically Norman Osborn has two kids. Well, actually, he has three kids: a daughter from Gwen Stacy, a son from Gwen Stacy, and Harry. So, I'm not sure if they're acknowledging the other kids right now, but I think it was Sarah Stacy, and I forget the guy's name. I think he became like the Grey Goblin. Man, there's so many villains. Like, at one point in time, I was able to name like 100, easy. But it's late at night now. I'm tired. Who else? Well, then it was Chance. I think he was in Amazing Spider-Man 297 and 298, I believe. We had Eddie Brock, Venom. He was top of the line. Oh, and then also the first appearance of Carnage, which was Amazing Spider-Man 361, 362, 363. Yes, I bought tons of copies of each. Yes, I bought all the t-shirts when it came out. Cletus Cassidy was an awesome villain for Peter Parker. He was like the Joker to Spider-Man. And I thought when they did Maximum Carnage, I thought it was brilliant. I mean, they used Carry-On perfectly. What was the other one's name? Screech, something like that. And then the doppelganger was used finally when he was from, basically, if you remember, the Infinity War. It was Infinity Gauntlet, then it was Infinity War, then it was Infinity Crusade. And Infinity War, they had all doppelgangers for all the different the villains, for the heroes. So he had him. Who else do we have? Spider-Side. What am I thinking? Spider-Side. That was another villain. Spider-Side. Okay. Then you had the Spider Slayers. Alexander Smythe, or something like that. Yeah. The Lobo brothers. They were only in it briefly, but now they're in Scarlet Spider. They were werewolves. That was cool. The Man Wolf, which was J. Jonah Jameson's son. That was pretty cool. Puma was in it. You had Judas Traveler. You had the Beetle. You had, man, why can't I think of anything right now? Oh, my favorite, Mysterio. I love Quentin Beck. He was awesome. I always wanted them to use him, and they hardly ever did, I thought. And I couldn't wait to see Quentin Beck. And also, too, I always wondered why. Well, I know that Peter Parker never had the spider sense work against Venom. And I think that's why he was always afraid, because it just wasn't working. But, I was always wondering if they were able to change the frequency with the spider sense, where he could pick up on it. But I know Ben Reilly kicked his butt. I mean, the clone of Spider-Man kicked Venom's butt. He used impact webbing, shot it down his throat, broke the bond between Eddie Brock and the symbionts. Then they also had the Children of Venom, which I think was like 5 symbionts. They made a video game about it called Separation Anxiety. Then what else we had? We had Gravitron. We had the Tricentennial. That was when Peter Parker came back into the picture. He still thought he was a clone, but he was getting his powers back and all that stuff. It was pretty good. And then Screers, right? The Screers, yeah. They had La Tarantula. They had... Man, why can't I think of villains today? That stinks. Moreland was a crazy, crazy villain. That he just beat the living crap out of Spider-Man and kept coming at him until he died, which he'll probably come back eventually, I think, too. Then the Queen, which she's the reason why Peter Parker was shooting the webs without the web shooters. You had Stunner, which was Dr. Octopus's girlfriend. She was hot. She was awesome. You had Lady Octopus, which was, I think, Stuart Trainor's wife. I think that was Ben Riley's buddy. He was a doctor. You had, man, I'm trying to think. There's so many. Steergron, Dinosaur Man, Molten Man. Why am I blank? Shame on myself. Shame on myself for not remembering at this late hour. But oh, so many different storylines. The Jackal, of course. I love the Jackal. He was great. Master Planner, Doc Ock, Mad Tinkerer. No, what they call him, the Tinkerer. No, there was the Mad Thinker, and there was the Tinkerer. He did build all the devices. We had the Sinister Six, the Sinister Seven. Was it Sinister Seven? Sinister Syndicate. And they even had the comic Deadly Foes of Spider-Man, which I remember. I really liked that book when they used to have it a long time ago. There's just so many villains. They even had this Hulk guy, this guy that got powers from Gamma, but it wasn't the Hulk. He was somebody different. I think they used him twice. Yeah, and then Spider-Man had more villains, I think, than Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern put together. I mean, Spider-Man had over hundreds of villains. And like I said, the one villain that I really wanted to see that they never really used was the Human Fly. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I wanted to see